Good everyone. Yeah, welcome back to General Computing. Last week we discussed on how to create a folder. Then today we are going to continue from where we stopped. This program is powered by No Big Deal, then anchored by Salah Rahim. So we are going to open a folder on our desktop for the purpose of this lecture. So how do we create a folder on our desktop? You just right click. When you right click, you go to new, then you click on folders. It's open for you to rename. That is why it is colored blue. So I will delete it, then I will create it. I will write any name that I want. I can say training. So this is simple way of creating a folder. I told us from the last class that we can open a folder, we can rename a folder, we can copy a folder. When you right click on the folder, you see many options that you can do with it. So it's not our main objective of this lecture today. Our main objective of this lecture today is how to open MS Word, how to type and edit text, how to save a document, and how to format text. So before we get started, let's look at the meaning of Microsoft Word. What is Microsoft Word in the simple terms that you can understand it? Microsoft Word is a program used for typing letters, documents, notes, and assignments. Anything at all that you want to type and format in a proper way, we use Microsoft Word. Microsoft Word is an application software. When we were talking about software, we made mention of application software and system software. So Microsoft Word fall under application softwares. So now, how do we open Microsoft Word? Let's go back to our main practical or main description. If you want to open Microsoft Word, you do what? You click on your start button. This is my start button here. I'll click it, then I will now search for Word, that is Microsoft. So when you search for Microsoft, or let's say Word, I'm searching for MS Word. So I have this version of MS Word. So MS Word 27. So I will just double click on it. That is clicking my left click twice. That is what I mean by double clicking. Then it will open. So it's trying to open. So you can see a blank page open. That means your Microsoft Word is ready for typing. So before we start typing anything, let's look at what we have here from the notes that we are following. The next thing is components. We want to look at the components. We want to look at the components of MS Word. What are the components of MS Word? We have many components of MS Word. I'm just waiting for it to load so that you can follow up. So let me just keep on mentioning it before we now see the description. Okay, it opens. Among the components of MS Word, we have the title bar, we have the menu bar, and we have the toolbar. So we still have many components of MS Word today, like when you are talking about the scroll, horizontal scroll bar, vertical scroll bar, the type area, and some other important components. So I want to just briefly tell us the components that we have. This is our first bar here. I don't know if you are following my mouse. The first bar that is white, we call it menu bar. Why is it called we call it title bar. Why is it called title bar? Is because it holds the name of our document. Whatever name we use on a document, it is what we use to name it. That is why I call title bar. If I decide now to save this particular document now, the name will now change to the name I used to save it. We are still going to save, but let's move on to another component. The second component is called menu bar. This is the second component where all the list of menus are being placed, and the other component is called standard bar. If we look at it, if I click on the second menu, you see that I have another standard bar. I have another menus, sub-menus. So our standard bar or toolbar, it holds the sub-menus of menus. So it gives us another menus after we click on each menu. Remember, all the menus are placed on the menu bar, and then when we are clicking on the menu, it gives us some other menus, and where those sub-menus are being kept, it is called toolbar. We have horizontal scroll bar and we have vertical scroll bar. I'm just trying to type something so that we can describe our work. Sorry, let's go back. So we have our vertical scroll bar. This is it, and the horizontal scroll bar is somewhere here. It's not here, right? It's not here now. So let me just zoom in to see whether it will come out. If it's not coming out, so let's just proceed. I'm trying to just making it ahead. It's out already. So I've zoomed out. So this is our horizontal scroll bar. This is our vertical scroller. That is, we use it to move up and down. Then we use this one to move right and left. Okay, so we have our ruler. Is part of the component. This is ruler that we use in adjusting the margin of our page. If I want my typing to start somewhere at the back or somewhere in the front, I will use my ruler to arrange it. We have both the horizontal, which is this, and we have both the vertical, which is this. We use it to adjust the margin of our page. So let's move on. So the next thing should be how to type. How do we put some text in our... So you can just click on any white area of this place, then you start typing. Just click on the white, any space on the white area, then you start. Now, how do we save? How do we save our file? How do we save our work, which is the file? How do we save it? So we have to save under some directories. We have many directories. We have desktop, we have document directories. So let's see some directories, but for the easy access, we are going to be locating the desktop. How do we save on desktop? And now we have already created a file on desktop. So how do we save that file? How do we save this particular document inside our file that we created? So you go to Office button. On the Office button, you click on Save As. When you click on the Save As, it's trying to load the directories. Let's wait for it to load the directories. the directories is just like a folder locations in the memory. We have many directories. So from here now, you're still loading the directories. We have from my directories here, you can see many of them. That's desktop, no big deal, documents, download, all these things, they are directories. So I need to select my directories first. That is the location where I want the file to be placed. So I will click on desktop because I want my file to be easily accessed. Now I've already clicked on the desktop. Now I will now locate some folders under the desktop. These are all the documents or folders in my desktop. So now remembered, I started by creating a folders so that my work will be organized if I'm looking for it. So I will select the folder that I created. Remember, I select the desktop and then I look under the document or under the files that is under the desktop to select the folders I want to save in. So now you are seeing something like file name, save as type. So instead of me now to choose to rename the file name, it's better I rename the file name so that whenever I want to search for it, I can easily remember the name. So let me call the name my first type. My first type. Then let me locate that folder again because it's not selected anymore. So I will select the folder which is training. It must be selected. Then I will now say open so that I'll be able to see all the document that is inside that folder. Then it's telling me that no items, so that definitely I will need to save it. It's already inside that particular folder. So I will now, how do you know that I'm already inside that folder? If you look up here, you see training, so it means that I have selected the right folder. I will now click on save. So this is how to save inside your folder. You select your file office button. After you select your office button, you click on save as. Then after you click on the save as button, it will load the directories. You select your directories, then you select, if you want to select the folder under your directories, then you now what? You now select the folders you want to save in. So that's how it works. So it's trying to load it again. I don't need it again, but if it's like the file we save is not saved correctly, that's why it's trying to reload it so that I can resave it. I will just try to do it again, so that, because I noticed that the name is not changed yet, it's supposed to change to my first type. So let me resave it. It's like the system needs upload, that's why it's giving me some sign. So I will just click on this. Since I've already saved it before, I'll say save, say replace. So now after I've already saved, let's see whether it will save correctly. If it saved correctly, then we move on to the next thing that we want to do today. The next thing we want to do today is formatting text. Okay, it's saving correctly. If you notice, my title name has changed to my first type, so that means it's saving correctly now. So let's move on to the next thing, which is formatting text. I want to tell you that everybody can type, but what makes us a professional is that we know how to format. We know how to format. What do we mean by formatting is that when you are changing the color, you are changing the boldness, you are underlining, you are changing the font size, you are doing some font color, That means you are trying to what? Rearranging, making it more perfect to look. That is when you can now say you are now formatting. What do I mean by bold? Bold, that is B-O-L-D, that is highlighting the text and highlighting the text to bold, to make your text to be more bolder. Then when you talk about italics, that means to make a slant italics. All these things, when you want to bold, you have to highlight the text and click B. So let me just use this one as sample. I said highlight, that means I will highlight like this, clicking my left down, then drag to the right, clicking my left down, then drag to the right, or from the right hand to the right. So I want you to try it to highlight. So when you highlight, you can now bold by clicking on B. So if you notice, the text will be more bolder. You see, it's different from this other one. So if you want to italics it, you click on the I here. That is to make an emphasis. You see, it is no longer straight. It's straight, it's no longer straight, it's straight now. So when you say underline, it means that you will click on U. Clicking on U, you see a long line is showing. That is what we mean by underline. Then font size, that is, you want to increase the size. You can use this number that is there. Click on any number. You see, select any number, it will start reducing and increasing. Then you can increase it by here, grow font. So you can click on this plus, then you can click on this small a to reduce it. That is what we mean by font size reduce and font size increment. Then font color, how do we give a font color? Is by clicking this particular a. This is font color, is even written there. So you click on the check down button by the side of that a to see more colors. So you can decide to click on yellow, blue, red color. So that is what we mean by